Brickell sub army, flooded valley baby. Start with a sub in the normal spot. If you don't know where that is, just go back in the video and pause it to see the placement, and then place a sub topside when you can afford it, so when you have $350 during round 6, because you need to catch those stray balloons at the top. And then we get to chill for a while. We're just going to save up straight for Brickell. So this strat is like unbelievably easy. Genuinely might be the easiest flooded valley chimps. And yeah, it's really fun. We're just going to spam a bunch of subs. So during round 10, turn off auto start so we can place Brickell at the end of the round. You want to place her like below kind of the middle part of the track, and then a bit to the right. That bottom sub should like barely be in Brickell's range at the bottom. And just place her a bit more to the right. That's going to make your boat placement a lot easier in a couple rounds. So during or at the end of 13, get a boat and place it right below the kind of vertical path so that it can pretty much just shoot straight down that path. And then give it long range so we get extra pierce, which is super nice. It's really going to help on this straight line right here, as you can see. And then just start upgrading that boat to a top path, so faster shooting and double shot when you can afford it. And then after you have a 201 boat, upgrade both your subs to 020s. So make them both 010 first. And then before you get 020, make sure you get Crow's Nest on your boat for round 24. That's really important, obviously. And then after that, you can give your subs lead popping, so heat tip darts, which is 020. So make sure you give both your subs the lead popping ability before round 28. That is really important because that's the first time we get leads. At the start of 31, just use naval tactics. Not sure if you need it, but yeah, just do it to be safe. And then during 32, before 33, just get Destroyer. And yeah, now it's like really, really easy. Destroyer is insane. And once you have Destroyer, you don't have to do anything. We're just going to start upgrading our subs to ballistic missiles. So upgrade that bottom one or the top one to a 230. It doesn't really matter which order you do it in. The main thing is that before round 40, we're going to have 3 ballistic missiles, 1 topside, and then 2 in Brickell's range. So turn off auto start before 40, just to make your placements easier. Well, the placement for this one last sub before round 40. So before 40, just place a third sub, like anywhere below the boat, like in Brickell's range, obviously. It doesn't really matter where, just below is fine, so there is good. Upgrade that one to a 230 as well, and then just use naval tactics on round 40. Moab gets demolished, no problem. And then you can just turn auto start back on again because this is just super AFK. We're just going to save up straight to aircraft carrier. During 53, use Brickell's second ability at the start of the round, and then just use naval tactics when you see a Moab. These really are unnecessary, but we're just using them to prevent RNG because sometimes that can happen with the planes. On 53 and on 57, just use both of Brickell's abilities just to ward off any RNG, because it has happened to me once before, so yeah, make sure that doesn't happen to you. And then get carrier during 58, pretty easy. And yeah, now it's like really easy. So after you get flagship, place an ice on the topmost platform of the boat, upgrade that to a 032 snowstorm, Arctic wind, to become a snowstorm. And just chill, because 63 is going to get destroyed by a carrier. And if you're feeling unlucky, don't worry, you have an Arctic wind there just to make sure that nothing gets past. Get snowstorm at the end of 63. And this snowstorm is really important because we want to place some villages down, which are going to allow us to get some nice discounts on the sub-army we're going to build. So whenever you're placing a lot of towers, it's probably a good idea to get discount villages because you're going to end up saving a lot of money. So just chill for now till round 70, it's pretty AFK, there's nothing you need to do. Carrier is like insane. And we have RNG prevention in the form of snowstorm. During 70, turn off auto start so we can place our glue and our villages before 71. So the first village should go to the right of the boat, a bit more to the bottom right. Make sure that the top left part of the village can see the left platform of the boat, that's really important. Give it the discount upgrades, then another village above the first one. This one also should cover the left platform of the boat. Give that one the discount upgrades as well. And then put a glue under double discount on that left platform. Upgrade it to 023 Moab glue. Just leave it on first. Get R glue at the end of 71, and then you can turn auto start back on. So this guy's going to be our super glue and just completely wreck the end game. So after you have R glue, start upgrading your villages to a 302 on the top one and a 022 on the bottom one. Make sure you get camo detection before 78. You will be able to afford it super easily, so make sure you get that 022 village before 78. And it just makes your life a lot easier, you don't have to use abilities or anything, even though you will see me do that here. On 76, no abilities necessary, like that rush just gets destroyed, but on 78, I definitely recommend that you use naval tactics. As you're about to see, it's just a good idea. So on the first wave of 78, just use naval tactics. Nothing should leak, but if it does, you can always just use snowstorm as well. So naval tactics and snowstorm if you need to. And do the same thing again for the second wave. And then 79 is like really easy. You don't have to do anything, but make sure you turn off auto start before 80, because 80 is like a sneaky annoying round. Before 80, place a mega mine at the top side of the track, and then just use naval tactics for the cleanup. You actually have to use naval tactics there, so make sure you don't forget, it's really important. And then 81, looks a little rough, but it isn't. Get super glue at the end of the round, and now you can turn auto start back on. Once you have S glue, you want to place a sub right next to your boat and your bottom camo village. And then start upgrading it to a 204 AP darts. This guy's going to be our subcom. And yeah, we are doing 3 tier 5s in this video. They're all pretty cheap tier 5s, which is nice. And yeah, together they just work unbelievably well. Once you have your AP darts, all you need to do from now till 90 is just upgrade that bottom village to a MIB. That's really important because it's going to allow both the sub and the boat to hit DDTs, which we really desperately need. There are ways to get around that, i.e. just use naval tactics, but that makes the guide harder because you actually have to kind of time the abilities. So I just decided to use a MIB because it's like really easy and the guide is still super, super easy and fun. So yeah, just chill for these next few rounds. There's not much you need to do. There's no abilities or anything. You can always use Brickell's first or second, but you don't need to. Make sure you don't use Megamine because it actually creates too many like Cerams and the towers end up pierce capping, and that is just not a good thing. So don't use Megamine unless I tell you, which is only on rounds 80 and 100, but we'll get to that when we get to that. On 92, if you feel scared, you can use Snowstorm, but as you see, you don't need to. On 93, you can use Snowstorm or Naval Tactics, like whatever you want. Use both or either, doesn't actually matter, just use one. And then at the start of 94, you can afford Subcom, make sure you get that immediately. And then you can also use Naval Tactics just to make the round really safe. Then turn off Auto Start, and then start placing your sub-army. Place them anywhere really, as long as they're in double discount range, Brickell range, and Subcom range. So place them where I place them if you don't want to think about it. There should be a ton of space, as long as you've placed the first towers easily and properly. Upgrade these subs to 230s, Advanced Intel and Ballistic Missile. And on 95 use Naval Tactics off cooldown. At the end of 95, keep placing more subs. At the end of 96, even more subs. Again, make sure they're in double discount range and subcom range. And this sub should be your final sub. I can't be bothered counting. Make sure you just don't place any more 230 subs after round 96 ends. So you'll see me mess up here and place another sub at the end of 97. You don't want to place this sub. Do not buy this sub right here. At the end of 97, don't buy anything. Just leave your money as it is. Do not buy that sub. It just makes the end harder, but as you're about to see, not that much harder. So for 98, just use Naval Tactics at the start of the round. Just so it's off cooldown for 99 and we can use it again. And on 99, use Naval Tactics again. And you can also Snowstorm, just for safety. Now, as you see, I bought that extra sub at the end of 97. And that means that I can't afford Brickell's level 20. If you just don't buy that sub, you can get Brickell's level 20 and then just place a Megamine at the top where the bad's going to come out from. And it will be destroyed with like no abilities at all. But as you're about to see, if you mess up like me, you can still destroy this. Just put more subs down. Use Brickell's second ability, and yeah, everything still dies. The bad still goes down just a bit further than it would normally, but that's okay. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This is a pretty crazy guide. That's a lot of subs. I kind of messed up at the end, but it's kind of funny that you can still beat this map super easily, even though you mess up and don't have Brickell's level 20.